My name's Pete Woods, you're watching Hexham TV. Who are you?
I'm Ella Fairley.
I am Alex Snowden, and I'm a teacher and NEU member.
I am also a teacher and NEU member.
Why are you striking for teachers today?
Okay. One of the big issues for us is we've had falling pay for many years. Since 2010 we've had over 20% real terms pay cuts, but also we're demanding that the pay rises are fully funded. So that means that central government, not schools, are having to contribute to those pay rises. So that means that there isn't money coming out of massively strained school budgets to pay for our pay rises. So it's about pay, but it's also about school funding.
Yeah, and you know, we're not just striking for us, we're striking for the students and for the support staff. When, you know, schools are having to find the funding in their current budget to increase the pay of teachers, it means that there's not money elsewhere, and schools across the country are telling us how much they're struggling to find the money.
So we're outside the Queen Elizabeth High School in Hexham this morning with the teachers who are striking. What impact would having to pay for a teacher's pay rise out of school budgets have on a school like the QE?
I mean, we've already felt it. We've already felt the fact that we don't have the same number of support staff we do anymore. You know, the LSAs who do a phenomenal job, and they are absolutely crucial to our job as teachers, and we're feeling the fact that we don't have that, you know, support anymore. And I think especially with COVID and the kind of issues in terms of students' mental health going up, we really need those support staff there as well as us, and we need them to be able to support us to teach the students.
Yeah, I would say I think in all schools one of the big concerns, whatever type of school people are working in, is the support for children who particularly need additional support. So those with special educational needs and disabilities, they really need the additional support, and the way in which we've seen cuts to school funding over the years is very damaging already, but it would get worse if we don't have government putting in the funding that we need.
In terms of school pupils and parents, what would you say to parents and, parents mostly, who might say, well, you know, you're going on strike, but it's putting my child at sort of risk, or, you know, I'm having to take a day off work today?
Well, we know we're getting a lot of support from parents, which we're immensely grateful for. And I mean, one thing is that a huge number of people in lots of different jobs are experiencing the same kind of difficulties that we are facing. With the cost of living crisis, we are seeing pay being held down in a lot of different areas. So we're not making a special case for teachers. We are aware that there are millions and millions of working people who are in a similar situation, and we need strong trade unions that are taking action about that, and we support the action that has been taken by other groups of workers in the health service, on the railways and elsewhere, because it isn't just about teachers. This is about saying that across the board we deserve a fair deal, and we need to start turning things around so it's not ordinary people who are paying for a crisis that we didn't create.
I think also, you know, we're taking strike action, but it's a very small kind of number of days, we understand the impact on students, and we would much rather be in the classroom teaching. We don't want to be out here. We want to be paid fairly for the job that we do, the job that we love doing. And actually, the reason why we're out here is that if we don't do something, it's going to get worse. It's going to impact the students more than 4 days of strike action will.
Yeah, and also we are saying to the Education Secretary, Gillian Keegan, she does need to start making a credible offer if she wants to prevent future strikes from taking place, because none of us want that kind of disruption to schooling. The point is that we've been pushed to this point where it is absolutely necessary, and if we're not going to have further disruption, it's down to the Education Secretary to actually get around the negotiating table and start putting forward a serious offer.
And it is right to say that arrangements have been made for certain vulnerable students and students who are taking exams today, isn't it?
Yes, so we've got year 11, year 12 and year 13 in, so our key exam classes, and they're being supported with their work, and we do have vulnerable students and students of critical workers in as well. So there is the provision there. We've not completely closed the school. We understand that our exam classes are close to exams. We get that. We feel, you know, the pressure and the stress as they do as well. As I said, we would much rather be in the classroom with them.
And what do you think this says to students who might see you striking out here about the importance of standing up for your rights and actually making a stand when you think you're being treated unfairly?
I think there's a lot of value in learning from those experiences about the importance of being able to take collective action. There is a legal right to strike, and although there are attempts from the government to erode those rights, which we need to stand up against, we still have those rights, and that is incredibly important. And I think it is valuable for children and young people to learn that there are ways in which you can address injustices and things that you feel are unfair. There are ways of doing that. There are ways of organising around that, ways of doing that collectively, legal mechanisms for taking that sort of action. And I think that's a valuable lesson to learn, yeah.
And have you seen any action by the local MP, either to support what you're doing or to comment on public sector strikes? What would you say to our local MP here in terms of what he might be able to do through Parliament or through lobbying on public sector workers' behalf?
I think many of our colleagues have lobbied Guy Opperman MP. I have myself. The reply I got was quite unsatisfactory. It was very much just parroting the official government line, and I'd much rather see that he was actually putting pressure on government ministers to be a voice for us and to actually express what teachers and support staff and others in the area are saying, rather than just repeating the message from Gillian Keegan and from the front bench.
Thank you both very much for talking to Hexham TV.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
No problem.
Very
Thank
welcome.
you.